This is the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and these are 3 seriously protective cases from i-Blason and SupCase. Let's get right into it. First up, let's take a look at the Aries flip case from i-Blason, which is the most minimal of the cases we'll look at and has the highest drop rating at 20 feet. It comes in 4 different colors: orange, desert, blue, and black, which is what I have here. The Aries case is a 2-piece case. The back is made of a polycarbonate, with the sides, top, and bottom being made from TPU, which is going to do really well at protecting your phone if it's dropped. Looking inside the case, you can see the MagSafe magnets, which we'll talk more about shortly. Around the inside edges, you can see these little parts that stick out, and that's part of what will keep your phone fitting securely inside the case when both parts are put together. Here's a quick look at the inside of the camera control button. I can feel that there's an anti-scratch layer on the inside, which is a nice improvement. The button has 19 copper conductors to help ensure that your finger's input is being translated through to the actual button on the phone itself. The updates to the camera control button are the same across all 3 cases, so we'll probably only take a look at the button on this case across the whole video. Inside the packaging is an alcohol wipe and a cleaning cloth, which you'll want to use to wipe your phone down, especially since it'll be sealed behind the front of this case, which has its own screen plus a glass screen protector installed on the front. So once your phone is wiped clean, you can remove the film from the inside of the front of the case and install it onto your phone. Once you've got the front on correctly, you install the back by connecting it down at the bottom and working your way up towards the top to seal it all together. Now with everything together, here's a look at the Aries case from the back with the silver iPhone 17 Pro Max installed. Here's a closer look at the camera ring, which is offering a good amount of clearance and protection for your newer, larger camera area. The whole camera ring is made from aluminum and is actually a kickstand that you can unfold and use to stand your phone up in either portrait or landscape, which is perfect for consuming content or just having your phone at a better viewing angle when you're working at your desk. Testing out the MagSafe strength, it's quite strong. Definitely above average. I would have no concerns using this on a desk mount or a car vent mount. And now while this case is protective, it's still thin enough to allow the upgraded 25 watts of wireless charging go through to the phone efficiently. And now here's a look at the case from the front. I really like how the front of this case feels. Usually cases with their own front screen cover built in are a harder plastic film, but having the glass screen protector added gives it a much more familiar feeling when you're swiping around. Looking at the protection offered, there is a good amount of lip to the front of the case, which is going to do well for keeping the screen from rubbing against surfaces if you're placing it face down. On the left side of the case, you have an attachment point for a lanyard and semi-detached buttons, which all work well and have surprisingly good click. The action button has this little orange mark to help it stand out, and it's actually a slightly different texture to help you find it when you might not actually be looking at your phone. On the right, you have a textured side button and the camera control button. Testing it out, it works well, which is great to see because last year my experience with the camera control button on cases from these 2 brands wasn't exactly up to par. Thankfully, time has passed and the camera control button has now been updated to work exactly how it should. Down at the bottom, the case has good cutouts for your speaker and bottom mic. And then looking at the charging port, it has a cover that helps keep debris like pocket lint out. It can easily be flipped down if you do want to plug your phone in using a wire instead of charging wirelessly. Next up is the UB Grip Pro from SupCase. Like the Aries, this case comes in 2 pieces, with the screen of your phone being fully covered and protected with this front half. This is a more rugged version of the last case we'll look at, which is the UB Grip. This case has a drop protection rating of 15 feet, so a little bit less than the Aries, but still plenty to protect your phone in the vast majority of drops. It comes in 4 different colors: coral, azure, desert, and black, which is the color SupCase sent over to me. Here's a look at the inside of the case, which is similar in a way to the Aries with all the parts inside that will help hold your phone in place nice and snug. Also like the Aries, the installation process is similar. Remove the protective film, place your phone into the front half, and once it's lined up, connect the 2 parts together, starting from the bottom and working your way up to the top. Here's a look at the case from the back with the silver 17 Pro Max installed. It's nice that the case is frosted, so you're able to see the color of your iPhone showing through. One of the main things you'll notice on the back is this MagSafe ring stand, which can be pulled out to stand your phone up in either portrait or landscape mode. The hinge on the back feels nice and stiff, so you should be able to prop your phone up even at some lower angles. Testing out the MagSafe strength of this case, it's really good, and should definitely not give you issues connecting to vent mounts and desktop mounts. The camera lip on this case is pretty generous, so it'll definitely do a good job keeping your camera plateau safe. It also has full coverage and isn't open, so it should do an extra good job protecting this area of your phone. The front lip protection of this case is really good. No issues at all keeping your screen from rubbing against surfaces when your phone is placed face down. Like the Aries, the front is a glass screen protector installed onto a built-in screen cover, which should help keep your actual phone display quite protected. Taking a look at the left side, you can see that there's a grip pattern, which is also on the right side as well. Those two together are going to give you some pretty good confidence that you have good grip when you're holding onto your phone. The volume buttons and the side button have a texture to them, which is going to help you find those buttons if you're not looking directly at your case. The action button has no texture and is smooth, so you should be able to easily tell the difference between the action button and the volume buttons if you're feeling them with your finger. On the right is the grip pattern I just mentioned and the side button that has the texture like the volume buttons. The camera control button is similar to all the cases we're looking at today and has been improved and works great. Looking down at the bottom, you have a mounting point for a lanyard on the left, good cutouts for your microphone and speaker, and a cover for your charging port, similar to the Aries case. Last up, we're going to take a look at the SupCase UB Grip, which is a slimmer version of the UB Grip Pro, but still has the same 15 feet of drop protection. It comes in 7 different colors: brown leather, which is a website exclusive, azure, coral, gray, green, black, and desert gold. I'll mostly show you the desert gold case, but I'll give you a moment with the black case after we've taken a full look around everything. Here's a look at the inside of the UB Grip, which has air pockets in 3 out of the 4 corners to help give you that good drop protection rating, but in a slimmer case. Now here's a look at the case from the back with the Silver 17 Pro Max installed. Again, I really like that the case is frosted, so your phone's colors show through. I'm also pretty happy with the silver color because it matches really well with all the different colors that are available. Like the UB Grip Pro, this case has the same solid ring MagSafe stand, which you can fold out easily to stand up your phone. If you've never tried a case with this type of feature, I highly recommend it. It's hard to go back because honestly, it's just so easy to pull this out and prop your phone up, which for me is mostly while I'm doing dishes. The protective camera area on this case is the exact same as the UB Grip Pro, so it's going to be doing a good job at keeping that whole area of your phone covered and protected. As you might expect, the front lip is also giving you good protection for the surface of your screen. It's not so high that it's uncomfortable to use though, so that's good. Keep in mind that one big difference between this case and the UB Grip Pro is that this is a one-piece case, so if you want screen protection, you're going to have to install that on your own. On the left and the right side of the case is that same grip pattern that we saw on the previous case, which is going to give you that added confidence and grip when you're holding onto your phone, especially something a bit bigger like the 17 Pro Max. Another difference with this case is that the buttons are actually floating, so they have the same click and response of the actual phone buttons themselves. On the right side is the same camera control button that works great, and the floating side button, which, like the volume buttons, is color matched to the accent of the MagSafe ring stand and the top corner of the case. The bottom of this case is very similar to the others: a mounting point for a lanyard in the corner, nice cutouts for your speaker and microphone, and a cover for your charging port to help keep debris out. A small detail that's worth noting is that the plug for this charging port actually has little clips, so when you press it in, it snaps in and stays connected just a little bit better. Now, as promised, here's a quick look at the black version of this case. Here's a look at the case from the back, a look at the case from the left side, a look from the right side, a look at the bottom, and then finally a look from the front. This case has a little bit of a lip over the front of the screen, which is going to hide that brighter color of the actual phone itself. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this lineup of cases from i-Blason and SupCase. I'm especially glad to see them make improvements on things like the camera control button. It makes this an easy recommendation, especially if you're looking for a case that has a large focus on protecting your new and expensive iPhone 17 Pro Max. If you'd like to pick up any of these cases, I'll leave links in the description, along with any discount codes that I can get my hands on. Using those links helps to support me as a creator, and it doesn't cost you anything extra, so it's always appreciated. Thanks for hanging out with me. Consider subscribing, smash the like button on your way out, and we'll do this again sometime.